Alright, welcome back. The final video of this series of the year in review for the 2010s. We are looking at the last year, the most current year, 2019. Yeah, this will be interesting. So, as I've mentioned through all of these, I'm looking through the Prog archives, their top 100 albums. I'm going to be talking about those albums that I know about and my impressions of them, and just kind of ignoring those that I don't. 2019 was a good year. Not quite as good as 2018, because I really like 2018, but 2019 was still really, really good in terms of like the other ones, because it's not like that wasteland of like that 2014 all the way to 2017. Like that was a so I've set the filters to all subgenres, to only studio recordings, and all countries for 2019. Let's get into it. Let's see what is number one. Looks like IQ's Resistance was number one. That's 2 years in 2010s where IQ came out on top. Really liked Resistance. Really, really liked Resistance. Don't know if it was my favorite of the year, but still really, really liked it. Much better than Road of Bones in my opinion. Excuse me, that was disgusting. But still very, very good. Number two was In Cautum Venenum. Really, really like this album from Opeth. I think it was leagues ahead of Sorceress, and I don't even think we saw Sorceress within any of the years that that it came out. So that's interesting. Let's dive a little bit deeper and see what we've got, because I'm not familiar with those three albums. Solaris sounds familiar, but I'm not too familiar with that one. Oh, I'm glad that Is from Don't Panic got so high at number 8. Good job for Is. Grand Tour from Big Big Train. Very, very good outfit. I had a lot of fun with that one. And the T Club is back with If When. I also really, really like this. So all three of these got honorable mentions in my top 10. I think Grand Tour I had to leave off, so that was in the surprises. Let's see here. The Bell from I Am the Morning. Probably their strongest work to date. I'd go on the record to say that. And we're getting into some things that I'm not too familiar with. My number one album, Thank You Scientist with Terraformer. One of the best albums of 2010, or of the 2010s. And the strongest album from 2019. I think it did a really good job of really summarizing where prog is right now and where I think prog is going to go. I think that we're finally starting to find our feet within progressive rock within the new decade. And I'm really excited to see where it's going to go. And I think Terraformer is going to be one of those that really pushes the boundaries in that sense. T with Solisystemology. I wasn't a big fan of that. Excuse me. Empath with Devin Townsend, 22. Really good. It made my top 10. Very, very strong. Probably his strongest work since Deconstruction. Oh, now that I think about it, that last album that he put out between this one and Transcendence, their Transcendence wasn't on any of the top 100s. That's very interesting. The Great Adventure was a little bit of a letdown for me. There it is. You Know What They Mean. Bent Knee, one of the best albums of the year. Bent Knee's best work for sure. 28 I think is a little low for that album. I think it should have been higher up. Let's see here. What else do we got? Hamina, Night Echoes. I was a little disappointed with this one, especially after Venus. But it was still fine. It was still fine. Same with The Edge of Light. Ooh, Wolflight and Night Siren wasn't on any of those past ones, now that I think about it. Interesting. But it's good to see that the Edge of Light is here. It was fine. Waiting for Miracles from Flower Kings. Wasn't that great. Samurai of Prague. I remember reading a lot about them. Never actually listened to that. Let's see here. Psychedelic Ensemble. Lost Crowns. These guys I'm not too familiar with. I remember seeing this one, but don't remember actually seeing that. I was definitely let down with Pitfalls. It was fine, but I was definitely let down. Magic Pie, the Fragments of the Fifth Element, I was very surprised with. It was a very good work. You should feel pretty proud of yourselves there, Magic Pie. Very, very good. I like that one. Soen with Lotus, it was fine. Wasn't my favorite. Seven Seas from Baroque Project. Really like this one. The only thing that was bringing this album down for me was the fact that they essentially ripped off a lot of Steven Wilson's work on a couple of their albums. Wasn't a big fan of that. Let's see, what else do we have here? I forgot to talk about the Clockwork prologue from Gandalf's Fist. Really, really fun work. Yeah, I didn't talk about that at all in any of my 2019 roundups, which I feel a little that wasn't really cool of me, because that was a fantastic work. I really liked the prequel to the Clockwork Fable. Did some really great stuff. Although I do wish I don't know. It was still good. It was still very, very good. Let's see what else we got. Jesus Christ the Exorcist, fantastic work. Really, really enjoyed that. I like that a lot more than The Great Adventure for sure. Love that build up to the end, and it's just a solid work, The Aristocrats, you know what? That was fine. It was all right. Oh boy. Got the sniffles. Let's see. Not too familiar with any of these. Ooh, there we go. The Crucible from Motorcycle. Fantastic work. Their strongest work since the Death-Defying Unicorn. Really, really like that one. The 3 tracks off there just really hit home. Coming into the final 20. Not looking... Okay. I actually just listened to this one from reviewer friend, Similitude of Prog. This made his top 10, and I wanted to take a listen to it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Tool, Fear It. Wow, that's really far down for Tool. But I know not a lot of people like that, but I really, really did. As I said, it's probably my second or third favorite Tool project. It sounded like it was something made for me, but I can understand why it's so high up there. And Periphery, Hail Stan. Wow, we didn't even get a top 100. I guess we're still getting in those numbers, as it's still pretty early on. Really love Reptile, but the rest of the album's just kind of eh. So that's the latest. That's from last year, 2019. That rounds up the whole decade. What did you guys think? Let me just do a little bit of a final tally. Tool, loved. Yeah, this one was a stronger year. Motorcycle, The Crucible, very, very strong work. As I said, yeah, Jesus Christ the Exorcist. I think we're starting to really find our feet within the prog sphere at this point. Not quite as strong as 2018, but still really, really strong. It'll be interesting to see how these albums age, because there's a lot of albums on here that I'm really interested to see how they age, like You Know What They Mean. Excuse me. Empath, I'm really excited to see how that one ages. Terraformer, I'm extremely excited to see how that one ages. T-Club, Big Big Train, these were fantastic. Really excited to see that Big Big Train was back. Same with Opeth. This one was one of their best works. And I'm interested to see how Resistance from IQ is going to age. That'll be really interesting as well. Oh boy. This is what happens when you're filming at the end of a cold. So that's about it. That's all I have. That's all 10 videos. Bam, 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 done. What did you think about this? Did you have as much fun as I did? I had a blast. What albums from last year weren't on this list that you think should have been on this list? What albums did I talk over that I didn't really dive into? Let me know all about that by commenting down below. I had a really good time. This is the last review that you're going to be seeing with this type of a background. As I mentioned way, way back, I'm moving, so this is the last time that you're going to be seeing me in this apartment. So it's a little bit of a bittersweet. I loved my time here, but it's time to move on. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. This was a blast. Looking forward to see what we've got for this decade and this year. And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this. You guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.